Tundra is the biggest, most powerful, most technologically advanced truck Toyota has ever built.
Toyota's Four Brothers. Let's go places.
A night of icons with the Commodores and the Spinners. Saturday, March 30th, Skookum Creek Event Center.
Go beast mode on your plumbing problems.
Here's the problem right here. What's next?
I think we're gonna have to take the whole toilet out.
Got it. What's next? You all good here?
So go beast mode and
Hey, wait. Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
And it has moved towards a more individualized risk assessment. However, this is not something that we ask now that the questionnaire has changed. We don't really know, how this is going to impact blood donation. What we do know is that, we are falling to critically low levels, and we have even had to limit distribution.
Go beast mode on your plumbing problems.
Here's the problem right here. What's next?
I think we're gonna have to take the whole toilet out.
Got it. What's next? You all good here?
So go beast mode and
Hey, wait. Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
For those of you leaving us tonight, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night. And coming up on the National Desk, migrant families are set to be evicted from New York City shelters as a new rule takes effect. Plus, new video of pro-Palestinian protesters blocking traffic on a New York City bridge, leading to dozens of arrests. And later, FBI notified new college football playoff fallout following the controversial exclusion of Florida State University.
When you have big plumbing problems, you need Superhuman Solutions.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Wait a second, aren't you?
Marshawn Lynch, stop freaking.
Call Beacon.
Beast mode.
What can I do for you?
Oh, I think it's just clogged.
Here's the problem right here. What's next?
I think we're gonna have to take the whole toilet out.
Got it. What's next? You all good here?
So go with Seattle's winning team and go beast mode on your plumbing problems.
Hey, wait. Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
Don't get caught with your pumps down. Visit the pressure washer experts at Seattle Pump and Equipment today. Since 1952, we're your local one-stop shop for all pressure washer sales, service, and rentals. From commercial equipment to homeowners, new equipment plus maintenance and repair. Seattle Pump and Equipment has everything you might need. We invite you to visit our spacious showroom, now just off 405 in Woodinville, where you can consult with one of our pressure washer experts today.
The KOMO Forecast Team. 4 of the most experienced climatologists, trusted meteorologists, skilled forecasters. The power of 4 working for you. The KOMO Forecast Team, only on KOMO News.
The National Desk, America's News Now.
Live from the nation's capital, this is the National Desk, America's News Now. Good evening. I'm Amira David. Tonight, 49 states are under weather alerts as a powerful winter storm threatens to disrupt power for millions of Americans. And Ryan Smith is tracking it from the live desk for us. He's been doing it all night. And Ryan, what do we know about how expansive this really is?
Yeah, Amira, this is really impacting so many people from coast to coast tonight. A fast-moving winter storm now sweeping across the U.S. with the southern plains expected to see blizzard conditions and the southeast seeing potential flooding. Parts of New Mexico, Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, and Nebraska could see up to a foot of snowfall out there. Now, we first want to show you this scene right here. Santa Rosa, New Mexico. You see it here. Whiteout conditions on those roadways, making any drive extremely treacherous and risky. Right now, blizzard conditions are tapering off across much of the state, but those temperatures will be brutally cold out there with more snow expected come this Thursday. Conditions on I-70 in northwest Kansas not looking any easier out there to navigate for those drivers. Much of that state now under a winter storm warning throughout tomorrow night. Let's take you farther south now to New Orleans under a flash flood warning earlier tonight. Schools, in fact, in that state across southeast Louisiana letting out early as the rain came down, coupled with a string of tornado watches hovering over 14 parishes. Let's move farther north now, where widespread heavy rain now expected tomorrow into Wednesday afternoon. In fact, New Jersey's governor already declaring a state of emergency for that tonight. The National Weather Service already forecasting flooding at 40 river forecast locations across the Mid-Atlantic region.
New tonight, the federal judge in Trump's D.C. election subversion case was the victim of a swatting call at her home on Sunday. That's when someone calls 911 and reports a fake emergency at a certain address. Now, according to CNN, the caller said he had shot his girlfriend and would kill himself, but the address he gave was that of federal judge Tanya Chutkan. Police said officers responded to the call to discover no shooting had occurred. Meantime, former President Donald Trump is leaving the campaign trail in Iowa to attend court in both D.C. and New York this week. Tomorrow, he's expected to appear in D.C. federal court for the first time in his election subversion case. Then on Thursday, Trump is slated to attend closing arguments in his New York civil fraud trial. Altogether, the former president facing 91 criminal charges in 4 criminal cases against him, and he denies all wrongdoing.
Taking you a live shot here of New York City tonight, where a 60-day shelter stay limit about to go into effect, impacting dozens of migrant families in a matter of hours now. Local outlets there reporting at least 40 asylum-seeking families will check out of the Row Hotel at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. More families will then receive similar notices in the coming days and weeks ahead. ABC 7 now reporting out of New York City when the city issued these shelter expiration notices to single adult migrants. About 80% then found permanent housing. The city now hoping for a similar high relocation rate for families going forward. And on the southern border tonight, arrests for illegal crossings into the U.S. from Mexico dropping to about 2,500 on January 1st. That's down significantly from more than 10,000 a day during several days in the month of December. That according to Border Patrol data.
On Capitol Hill, congressional leaders have reached a tentative spending deal to fund the federal government for the rest of 2024. House Speaker Mike Johnson announced the agreement in a letter to Congress on Sunday. The deal builds off the previous budget agreement brokered by former Speaker Kevin McCarthy and President Biden. Now, if passed, it would cap spending at $1.6 trillion for the 2024 fiscal year. Broken down, that's $886 billion for the military and $704 billion for non-defense spending. Johnson also said the deal includes $20 billion in cuts for the IRS and rescinds $6 billion in unused COVID relief funds. In a statement, President Biden applauded the new spending framework as well as Congress for reaching an agreement, saying that the deal rejects deep cuts to programs hardworking families count on. He went on to urge Republicans to pass his joint funding request for Israel, Ukraine, and the border. And turning now to the Israel-Hamas war. A top Hezbollah commander was killed in an Israeli airstrike in southern Lebanon on Monday. Israel's military also says it killed a Hamas militant in Syria responsible for firing rockets toward Israel. All of this adding to fears of a bigger conflict breaking out in the Middle East. The National Desk's Atra El-Nashar has the latest on the escalation.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visiting IDF troops Monday near the border of Israel and Lebanon, where a second front of the war could be forming. Netanyahu tells his troops Hezbollah is underestimating them. Shortly after an Israeli strike in Lebanon killed Hezbollah commander Wissam Tawil. Many viewing it as an escalation of what's been constant skirmishes between Israel and Hezbollah since the October 7th Hamas attacks.
Hezbollah is dragging Lebanon into an unnecessary war for the sake of Hamas.
Last week, Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah said their attacks against Israel are intended to, quote, stop the assault on Gaza.
This is a moment of profound tension in the region.
In his fourth visit to the Middle East since October 7th, Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the conflict could easily metastasize.
This is not just a regional issue. It's a matter of global concern.
The region further destabilized by Iran's vow to retaliate for deadly twin bombings last week, for which ISIS has claimed responsibility. Blinken calling out Houthi attacks on commercial ships in the Red Sea, which the Iran-backed rebel group says are to counter Israel's attacks on Palestinians. According to the Hamas-run Ministry of Health in Gaza, more than 23,000 people have been killed since October 7th. Calls for a ceasefire interrupting President Biden's speech at Mother Emanuel AME Church in South Carolina Monday.
I've been quietly working with the Israeli government to get them to reduce and significantly get out of Gaza.
And we've heard members of the Biden administration call for more to be done to protect civilians in Gaza before, but that comment you just heard from the president is by far the most direct signal that we've seen indicating he's frustrated with Israel's operations.
And Atra, Secretary of State Blinken, he gave a preview of his upcoming talks in Israel. What do we know right now?
Well, he says he's going to press Israel on the conditions for civilians in Gaza, and blockades for humanitarian aid that still remain. During a press conference in Qatar, Blinken said that he's also going to stress that more needs to be done to spare civilian lives. But these are all things that we've heard before. We've heard from the administration since Israel began its offensive in Gaza, and there's very little to show for it. So really the question is, will there come a point where the administration actually starts conditioning U.S. support for Israel on those things?
Atra El-Nashar reporting in Washington, D.C. for us. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, checking in on your money tonight, early birds can get a jump start on their federal income taxes starting January 29th. That's when the IRS will start accepting 2023 returns. Now, if you're not an early bird, that's probably the majority of us, there is still plenty of time. You have until April 15th to file. And there are some exceptions you should know about to that deadline. Taxpayers in Maine and Massachusetts have until April 17th to submit under those states' observation of the Patriots' Day and Emancipation Day holidays. And anyone living or doing business in a federally declared disaster area may have a later date as well. Ahead on the National Desk, the first lunar mission in decades running into some major setbacks. Why the unmanned craft might not make it to the moon.
Plus, the morning rush hour in America's biggest city coming to a complete standstill this morning. The massive protest impacting traffic in New York City, leading to hundreds of arrests next right here at the Live Desk. But first, some breaking news to show you tonight here at the Live Desk. An explosion at a hotel has rocked the city of Fort Worth, Texas today. Nearly 24 people were hurt, some now in critical and serious condition. Take a look at this video closely here. You can see some of the haze rising from the debris there in this brand new video just released. And according to the city's fire department, they suspect a natural gas leak to be the cause of that explosion. The ATF now on scene helping with this ongoing investigation.
When you have big plumbing problems, you need Superhuman Solutions.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Wait a second, aren't you?
Marshawn Lynch, stop freaking.